His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Gudaibiya Palace. The cabinet underscored the importance of the recent Rabdan Shuwadman joint military exercise between Bahrain and the UAE, which was attended by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, and the President of the United Arab Emirates and Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The exercise reflects the depth of the historical cooperation between the two countries. The Cabinet commended the address delivered by His Majesty the King during his meeting with a group of citizens, athletes and members of the Supreme Organising and Executive Committees of the 3rd Asian Youth Games. The Cabinet also congratulated the entities and individuals who were honoured in the 13th edition of the E-Government Excellence Award 2025, held in conjunction with the 30th anniversary of Bahrain's internet connection. The Cabinet then followed up on the preparations undertaken by ministries and government agencies for the Kingdom's hosting of the 46th session of the GCC Supreme Council, under the chairmanship of His Majesty the King, and reviewed the draft agenda of the summit. The Cabinet also welcomed the peace efforts led by US President Donald Trump to bring an end to the Russian-Ukraine conflict through diplomatic, security and humanitarian principles aimed at promoting peace and stability, fostering mutual understanding and joint coexistence, supporting economic cooperation and preventing nuclear proliferation. The Cabinet then reviewed several memorandums submitted by ministerial committees and ministers, approving the following: a draft resolution to form the National Committee for the Prohibition of Weapons of Mass Destruction, a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Education and the International Baccalaureate Organisation, a memorandum of understanding between the Education and Training Quality Authority and the University of Cambridge. The Cabinet also reviewed the framework of priority programmes for the Ministerial Committee for Finance and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance, the framework of priority programmes for the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs. Finally, the Cabinet noted the following ministerial reports: outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the European Refining Technology Conference, outcomes of the official visit of the Minister of Information to Egypt, outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the 9th edition of the Minsk Global Forum. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Ahmed Al Musalem, and Chairman of the Shura Council, Ali Al Saleh, who were accompanied by their respective deputies and members of the Services Committee at Gudaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness emphasised that cooperation between the executive and legislative branches aims to serve Bahrain citizens in line with His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's directives, reaffirming the commitment to delivering the highest quality services. His Royal Highness highlighted that the efforts of Team Bahrain are a source of inspiration to continue achieving further accomplishments and successes that benefit Bahrain. His Royal Highness highlighted the importance of enhancing cooperation between the executive and legislative branches in a manner that creates opportunities for Bahrain citizens and the vital role of the private sector in supporting these efforts. His Royal Highness also affirmed that Bahrain's hosting of the 46th session of the Supreme Council of Cooperation Council for the Arab States of the Gulf, under the chairmanship of His Majesty the King, will contribute to the development of participating countries and enhance cooperation across various fields, reflecting the visions and aspirations of the GCC leaders. The Speaker of the Council of Representatives and the Chairman of the Shura Council expressed their gratitude for His Royal Highness's commitment to strengthening cooperation between the executive and legislative branches to the benefit of Bahrain and its citizens. The Deputy Prime Minister, Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. The National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, Lieutenant General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received a delegation of US Congress members, led by Congressman Darren LaHood. The meeting was attended by the Chairman of the Strategic Security Bureau, Sheikh Ahmed bin Abdulaziz Al Khalifa, within the framework of the mutual keenness to continue developing the existing cooperation between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the United States of America. During the meeting, His Highness affirmed the strategic importance of the Bahraini-US relations and their continuous development in various fields. His Highness stressed the importance of continuing to coordinate joint efforts to support regional and international security and stability and enhance mutual interests between the two countries. His Highness noted the Kingdom's continued commitment to furthering its decades-long partnership with the US. The meeting discussed a number of topics of mutual interest and reviewed regional and international developments, in addition of ways to develop cooperation in the next phase. For their part, the US delegation expressed their appreciation for the close relations between the two countries, affirming their keenness to support and strengthen joint cooperation to serve the strategic interests of both sides. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and founder of Team Bahrain Victorious, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, witnessed the signing of a strategic partnership agreement between Omniat and Team Bahrain Victorious to sponsor the cycling team in preparation for the 2026 season. His Highness affirmed that the cooperation with the Omniat reflects a shared commitment to developing sport in general and cycling in particular, as well as promoting the sport to encourage future generations to take up cycling. His Highness noted that the partnership will contribute to further achievements in the coming season, especially as the Team Bahrain Victorious has a proud history of international achievements. His Highness added that the partnership is also in line with the vision of the team through a commitment to innovation and continuous development. The founder and executive chairman of Omniat Group, Mahdi Amjad, affirmed that the company's support to the team reflects its belief that sport is a symbol of excellence, ability and determination, and plays a fundamental role in elevating human potential. Under this partnership, Omniat will support the team in representing Bahrain and the region in major international tournaments. The National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, Lieutenant General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received the working team of the second edition of the Gadha programme, its trainers and supervisors with a number of participants. His Highness expressed appreciation for the continued support provided by the Commander of Special Operations of the Royal Guard, Colonel His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, for the success of the programme's second edition. His Highness affirmed that this support established Gadha as a leading national platform that highlights and empowers young talent in various fields. His Highness also affirmed that the programme's widespread success and positive reception, both inside and outside Bahrain, was the result of integrated and concerted efforts. His Highness praised the participants' spirit of challenge, determination and perseverance. His Highness noted the pivotal role of the Royal Guard's trainers in raising the readiness of the participants, highlighting the great efforts made in designing the programme to provide practical real-life experiences that hone the skills and develop the leadership abilities of young people. His Highness thanked the programme's team for their outstanding efforts. His Highness added that the programme has become a model for youth programmes, stressing that the promising skills and abilities of the second edition confirm that investing in young people is the best investment for the nation's future. The second season of the Gadha programme has received widespread praise since its launch in Shahid, showing strong engagement and audience presence. It continues to empower Bahraini youth by building their skills across multiple fields. More in this report.
The second season of Gadha marks a fresh, dynamic start from national programs, led by His Highness Lieutenant General Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa and sponsored by His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, who also sponsored the launch event. This season puts Bahraini youth at the heart of an experience built on strength, disciplines, and initiative. Their program is faster and stronger this year, with 10 episodes on Shahid platform and intense field challenges that ignite the spirit of competition. Tasks reflect military disciplines, teamwork, and let participants show their skills in tough moments. Since its launch, the program has been widely watched, showing strong audience engagement with its youthful energy and inspiring message. The journey includes 60 days of preparation, 40 days of training, 15 field challenges, 20 locations, and 100 Bahraini contestants. It's a test of willpower, endurance, and proof that Bahraini youth are ready to face challenges with awareness and determination. Gadha is a national space full of enthusiasm, putting youth face to face with the reality, unlocking their energy, and showing the strength of Bahrainis when they commit, lead, and move forward confidently to achieve success.
The public prosecution organised a forum on organised fraud titled Enhancing National Capacity to Combat Organised Fraud, attended by the Deputy President of the Supreme Judicial Council and President of the Court of Cassation, Sheikh Khalid bin Ali Al Khalifa, and Attorney General Dr. Ali Al Bouanin. The event was held in cooperation with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and the Institute of Judicial and Legal Studies. The Attorney General highlighted the seriousness of fraud offences and the negative impact on individuals and the economy, noting that such crimes undermine confidence in investment and financial transactions. He stressed the extensive responsibilities of the public prosecution and relevant authorities in protecting the nation's economic foundations and individual assets. Al Bouanin also emphasised the importance of continuous collaboration through such events to enhance performance, address challenges, and strengthen institutional capacity in combating crime. The sessions covered emerging forms of fraud, optimal judicial and security procedures for combating organised and electronic fraud, and the role of banks and financial institutions in preventing these crimes, including their technical capacity to detect evidence and limit their impact.
I believe that today's forum was extremely valuable and insightful. It focuses about the organized fraud and its impact on individuals, financial institutions, investigators, and the legal framework across the region. What I found that was particularly important, that the speakers not only focus on the legal framework, but they also highlighted a clear picture on the practical challenges and the gaps that need to be addressed and how to protect the community from the serious crime, especially now that the electronic crime has evolved and the cross-border activities.
Under the patronage of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Bahrain Teachers College yesterday held its 14th graduation ceremony for 332 students in the presence of the Minister of Education and Chairman of the University's Board of Trustees, Dr. Mohammed bin Mubarak Juma. Dr. Juma affirmed the Ministry's and University's support for the college in enhancing its programmes through partnerships with international educational institutions and adopting global best practices. He congratulated the graduates, their families, and the college's academic and administrative staff. The event concluded with Dr. Juma presenting certificates to graduates of the Masters in Educational Leadership from Boston University, high diplomas in educational leadership, special education, and bachelor's degrees in education. The Under-Secretary for Municipal Affairs at the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture, Engineer Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, participated in the 3rd Gulf Municipal Week held in Kuwait. The event included delegations from municipal authorities in the GCC, as well as a number of specialists in planning and municipal services. He emphasised that Bahrain's participation in this Gulf gathering stems from its commitment to supporting cooperation and joint action among the GCC countries and to enhancing the exchange of expertise and successful experiences in the municipal sector. The week features a series of panel discussions and workshops aimed at raising the level of municipal competencies, in addition to presentations of innovative initiatives highlighting successful experiences in local development and community services. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed Bahrain's welcome for the American peace efforts led by US President Donald Trump to end the Russian-Ukrainian war. These efforts are based on diplomatic, security and humanitarian principles aimed at consolidating security and stability, enhancing understanding and coexistence, supporting economic cooperation and preventing nuclear proliferation. They are seen as an important diplomatic initiative to achieve a lasting ceasefire and stability in Europe. In a statement issued by the Ministry, the Kingdom renewed its appreciation and support for regional and international efforts to resolve conflicts through dialogue, alleviate humanitarian impacts and promote security and just peace in line with international law and the UN Charter. The Supreme Council for Women, in cooperation with UN Women, held a side event in Doha during the Second World Summit for Social Development to launch the third edition of Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa International Award for Women's Empowerment. More in this report.
The Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Women gave a brief overview of the origins of Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa Global Award for Women's Empowerment, which is supported by the UN Women. The third edition of the award was announced in March 2025 on the sidelines of the 69th session of the Commission on the Status of Women at the United Nations in New York. Held on the sidelines of the Second World Summit for Social Development in the Qatari capital Doha, the event highlighted this pioneering initiative that has grown from a national to a global platform, recognized by the United Nations and overseen by a high level of international experts.
It is a great privilege to join this distinguished gathering for the presentation of the third edition of Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa Global Award for Women's Empowerment. I wish to commend the Kingdom of Bahrain for its visionary leadership and the meaningful initiative which continues to recognize and celebrate efforts from across the world to advance gender equality and empower women in all spheres of life. This award, under the gracious patronage of Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, symbolizes the value of inclusion, equity, and opportunity.
We'd like to use this opportunity to appreciate Her Excellency Princess Sabika for this worthy initiative. You know, it is worthy of commendation. You know, women's economic empowerment is paramount for the global development and also for national developments of various countries. This particular award addresses every segment of society, from the private sector to the NGOs to also individual efforts towards women's empowerment.
During the summit, several heads and representatives of national mechanisms responsible for women's and family affairs from the GCC countries and around the world praised Her Royal Highness's initiative, describing it as a leading example of global efforts to advance women's empowerment, promote equal opportunities, strengthen leadership roles, and enhance women's participation in executive and decision-making positions worldwide.
BAS Aircraft Engineering Training Centre held a graduation ceremony to celebrate 100 trainees who successfully completed the training requirements for the European Aviation Safety Agency Part 66 Aircraft Engineering Licence. This ceremony marks the culmination of a training programme designed according to the highest international standards in aircraft engineering and maintenance, reflecting the Centre's efficiency in preparing and qualifying technical personnel capable of contributing to the development of the aviation sector at both the local and regional levels. The chairman of the Board of Directors of Bahrain Airport Services Company, Nabil Kanu, expressed his pride in the graduation of a new batch of qualified professionals, emphasising that this achievement embodies the Centre's firm commitment to developing promising talent. The CEO of Bahrain Airport Services Company, Engineer Mohammed Khalil, expressed his pride in the graduates and his confidence in their ability to contribute to the development of the aviation sector. The training centre offers advanced training programmes accredited by the European Aviation Safety Agency that focus on integrating theoretical knowledge with practical application according to the latest standards. The Bahrain Institute for Political Development organised a training course titled Employing Artificial Intelligence in Electoral District Analysis. The course was presented by Executive Advisor for Artificial Intelligence and Data at the NASA Science and Technology Centre and Head of the Global AI Group, Dr. Jazim Haji. This course concluded the candidate preparation phase, which falls under DARIB, National Programme for Parliamentary and Municipal Elections. The training course reviewed the rapid development of artificial intelligence tools and their role in supporting electoral processes. It also addressed the most prominent applications of artificial intelligence in the electoral process and reviewed the most influential types of parliamentary and electoral data in building an accurate analytical perspective, including legislative and administrative data and voter data specific to electoral district. Bahrain is celebrating 30 years of internet connectivity from its inception in 1995 to the present day. More in this report.
Bahrain is marking 30 years since the internet became integrated into its national system in 1995. 3 decades during which digital connectivity has transformed from a limited service into a cornerstone of modern infrastructure. This transformation was not fleeting but rather the result of early decisions that embraced investment in technology and fostered a knowledge-based society, reshaping the economic and service landscape and ushering in a new era of digital transformation that became an integral part of the progress of vital sectors in Bahrain. Within this context, the e-government project stands out as one of the most important initiatives that contributed to driving these transformations, starting with the launch of the first national strategy in 2007 and culminating the establishment of a unified government network that formed the foundation for building an interconnected digital system. Today, Bahrain is among the most connected countries, boasting 100% internet coverage according to reports from the International Telecommunication Union. It also became the first country to provide internet access to all government sector employees, aiming to enhance work efficiency and improve the quality of services provided. As the pivotal moment in its digital transformation continues, efforts are underway to foster innovation in the technological field. Specialized initiatives and awards such as the e-Government Excellence Award contribute to raising performance standards and encouraging public and private sector entities to adopt smart solutions and artificial intelligence. Bahrain continues to strengthen its digital capabilities through supportive policies and legislation, and an integrated technological environment, ensuring the development and improvement of services to meet the needs of society.
The Ministry of Interior's Tennis Challenger for professional players began yesterday at the Public Security Officers Club for the 5th consecutive year, following top-ranked international players. The first qualifying round saw Russia's Semen Pankin beat Bahrain's Youssef Khaid in straight sets, while Colin Sinclair from the Northern Mariana Islands also won in straight sets against Bahrain's Elias Abdurrahman. Other winners advancing to the next qualifying round include Spain's Ivan Moreiro, Finland's Patrick Selmanin and Algeria's Samir Hamza. Daniel Gulubev defeated fellow Russian Ivan Nedelko, and Germany's Maximilian Homburg overcame Egypt's Michel Sombi. In the final match of the day, Britain's Ben Jones narrowly defeated Canada's Kelsey Stevenson, securing victory by 2-1. The GCC pavilion accompanying the 46th session of the GCC Supreme Council in Bahrain showcases the achievements of joint Gulf action and what GCC countries have accomplished during more than 4 decades of cooperation and integration. The pavilion showcases the GCC's journey from its pre-establishment phase to its future projects through 9 exhibition areas covering various areas of joint Gulf cooperation. More in this report.
In the 46th GCC Summit hosted by the Kingdom of Bahrain, the GCC Pavilion serves as a platform to showcase the cohesive Gulf identity that spans decades and brings together the past and the future. The pavilion takes visitors on a journey that showcases each country's national vision and development path, as well as the achievements made during more than 4 decades. During this period, joint Gulf action has witnessed significant growth, prosperity and development at all levels, in a manner that reflects the evolution of Gulf cooperation from its inception to the present day. Reflecting history and the depth of relations between GCC countries, the pavilion moves to the pre-founding stage, showcasing the first initiatives that formed the beginning of joint Gulf action, before visitors find themselves at the 1981 founding stage, presented in a style that evokes the pivotal moment when leaders united under one umbrella on a day that opened a new chapter in the modern history of the Gulf. Through a comprehensive plan that reveals the extent of what has been achieved and the steps taken to consolidate unity, the scene expands to showcase the past of joint Gulf action over the decades, where achievements follow one another in a precise order that reflects the development of the Council from economic integration and the Gulf Common Market to development, health and educational projects to security and military cooperation. For a more comprehensive view of the scale of joint Gulf efforts, the last corner of the pavilion features digital tables revealing the path of development and progress among GCC countries, as well as photographs documenting the stages of Gulf cooperation over the years. This harmonious display presents a comprehensive picture of the Gulf cooperation journey, reflecting unity and integration, and pointing to continuous steps towards a more cohesive and prosperous future for the region.